Welcome to your Autonomous College. Today we are going to discuss about the new topic and it is a part of that implicit object. Now we can focus on that slide. Today we can discuss the new concept that is known as implicit object in JSP, which is already discussed in your previous topic, but some rest part today we can going to discuss about it. Now we can learn what are the different types of some exception objects and also some relevant to our implicit objects which are related to our topic. Then we can discuss some relevant examples which are related to our implicit object or exception object. Now we can going to discuss about the first topic that is known as config object. Then before going to discuss about this topic or this point, we should know here the config object is means that is known as a configuration object, means configuration file object. Here the config object is an instantiation of javax.sublet config class, and here it is a direct wrapper around the sublet config object for the generated sublet, and this object allows the JSP programmer to access the sublet or JSP engine initialization parameters such as the paths or file locations, etc. Similarly, the config method is the only one you might ever use and its usage is trivial. And here the config.getSublet name method is specially used, which returns the sublet name, which is the string contained in the sublet name tag and element defined in the web, means INF means information or which is present in our web.xml file. That means the use of that web.xml file, which is a configuration file, in that XML file means extensible markup language file, which contains some relevant information about our web page. By using that information, we can going to create a new relevant web page which is specially related to our content, and that configuration file is most important for designing our JSP page, and that JSP page is dynamically viewed due to the presence of that config file, means configuration file, and that configuration file is relevant to our XML content. Now we can focus on the slide which is related to our example. Here first we can design some web.xml file. It is known as a configuration file. This web.xml file, which is created automatically in our system whenever user is designing a JSP page, its relevant XML file is automatically generated or automatically created. That means in that case that configuration file is related to some tags, and here we are using the tag known as a display name, and that means we are naming the sublet code, and every sublet code is relevant to our JSP file, and that file we have some specific type of contents which are related to our topic. That's why we are using that welcome file list. We are writing here index.html, then index.jsp, then written like the default.jsp. Here more than one files are integrated in this content. By using that XML file, we are designing it easily and we are going to running this file very suitable way. Next we can learn how to use that config object in our program. In that object is specially relevant to our topic. First of all, we can use that known as a page directive tag. In that page directive tag is denoted as %@. Then we are writing a page, and that page directive tag contains some attribute like language. In that language attribute we are writing here name that is known as Java. That means this file is relevant to Java content. Next you can writing here that is known as a content type attribute. In that type we are mentioning here text.html. That means this file is relevant to text material or some web material. Then we are setting here character set and page encoding structure here, and in this way we are mentioning it. Then we are mentioning here doc type. That means it is created through dynamic HTML file. Then here writing some HTML code like HTML, then head section. In that head section we are writing some tag that is known as a meta, which is written some attribute HTTP. Equip means equivalent content type. Then content here text.html. Then character set written as ISO 88591 is known as one character set content, and that is relevant to your content attribute. Then we are writing here title that is known as implicit Guru JSP5. This one naming we can write instead of this implicit Guru JSP5 any name we can write in this title. Then we can close that head section. Then we are starting the body. In that body section we are writing here tag that is known as scriptlet tag. In that scriptlet tag we are writing some file name like string with a string name that is known as sublet name. In that sublet name we are mentioning here config.getSublet name method. That means this config object helps to invoke that getSublet name method. In that method we are easily contain some information which is written in our this XML file. In our XML file some content is written here and that content is automatically displayed in this method. That means this config.getSublet name can extract the name of a sublet which is stored in that sublet name object. That means which is known as string object. Then we are going to printing that object name here written as out.println. Then we are writing some sublet name is sublet name. That means in that object string object we can store the name of that sublet which is retrieved through that config object and that is stored in our sublet name object which is automatically displayed in our web browser. Next we can learn what is the use of that application object. Generally that application object helps to invoke that application file. Then the application object is direct wrapper around the sublet context object for the generated sublet and in reality an instance of a javax.sublet context object. That means this application object is just one type of implicit object which is specially used to retrieve some specific relevant application information which are related to our JSP page. By using that application object we can easily focus on that slide, retrieve some content like which is written in our javax.sublet package that is known as a sublet context object. Then this object is a representation of JSP page through its entire life cycle, and by using that object which is easily created when the JSP page is initialized and it will be removed when the JSP page is removed by that JSP destroy method, and whenever this JSP destroy method is invoked automatically its content will be removed from that file. Then by adding an attribute to application, and here some user can ensure that all JSP files that make up your web application have access to it. It is on general information which is relevant to our JSP file, means sublet relevant file. By using that object we can easily just locate some specific applications which are present in our system. Now we are going to discuss this application object is related to our some specific type of example. Let us focus on that slide. Here we are discussing some example of that application object. First of all we can write some page directive tag. Then here mentioning as a attribute language. In that language attribute we are mentioning Java, that means the Java content. Then we are typing some content type, and that content type known as a text or HTML type. Then we can set the character set. In that character set we can mentioning some code, specific type of code that is known as ISO 88591, and then we can also adding some page encoding code ISO 88591. Then in that HTML content we can adding some specific relevant information here in our heading section written as meta http equiv equal to content type, and we are writing also content type means is text or HTML. Then setting the character set ISO 8859 or 1. In this way we can setting the content type. Then we are mentioning the title. So Guru implicit JSP 6 is known as the title of that JSP file. Then we can close that head section. Then we are writing starting the body section. In that body section we are writing an object that is known as application object, which is known as implicit object. By using that implicit object just a user can invoke that get context path method. Whenever user is invoke that get context path method which can retrieve that location in our system where is that application is present in our system. In this way we can easily retrieve that application path. By using that application path we can mentioning some relevant information of that JSP page. Next we are going to learning about what is the use of that page directive, and is a most effective and very efficient object which are used in our web page. And by using that page directive object or page implicit object is an actual reference to the instance of the page. By using that object, user can be thought of as an object that represents the entire JSP page. That means this page object especially is one most usable object. By using that page object, we can locate that JSP page. Whenever user going to creating a page object, means that page object is relevant to our this object. That means if a user want to create a page object which is located to same file, that is known as a page implicit object. Now we can focus on that slide. Here we are going to discuss about the page object is really a direct synonym of this object. We know that this object is specially used in our Java concept, otherwise you can say our C++ concept. This object means it is automatically located to same file. Whenever some object is located to same file, which is known as this object. By using that this object, we can easily locate that file, and also we can easily retrieve that information, means system relevant information from our system, and in that way we can easily collect some relevant information from our system. Next we are going to discuss some examples of that page object. By using that page object, similarly we can create this command structure like %@page directive, then language known as Java, then content type by mentioning text or HTML, then character set ISO 88591, then page encoding, then ISO 88591, then mentioning some structure here, then we are defining some HTML tag, then head section. In that head section we are defining meta HTTP equiv, means content type, then writing your content is relevant to our text or HTML, then we are setting your character state with a specific code ISO 8859-1, then mentioning a title. In that title we have a specific information that is known implicit guru JSP 10, and then we can close that heading section. Then we are starting here body. In that body section we are mentioning here means skiplet tag, skip string with a string name object that is known as a page name, and page.toString method. By using that page implicit object, we can invoke that toString method to retrieve some information about that page which is stored in our page name object, which is relevant to our means string type. And similarly user can printing that page name which is situated in our page name object, string type object. Then we are going to printing this section here body. Similarly user is printing whole information about some file, and that file is relevant to that topic, and that page information is always related to our toString method. Similarly user can use this toString method in our Java concept, and that means it is relevant to our core Java concept. By using that core Java concept, which is already part of that string, toString, value of, and this type of methods which are used in our Java concept. Similarly this kind of concept also repeated in our page object concept. Next we are going to learning what is the meaning of that page context object. Especially that page context object is give some information about some implementation details. We know that if a user want to printing some content, in that time user must to use some location, and by using that location user can easily print or display some system relevant information which are inbuiltly present in our web page. In this way we can relate it to our topic, then we are mentioning here, then we are going to printing in our monitor screen. Now we can focus on the slide. Here we are written like, that is known as the page context object is an instance of java x.sublet.jsp.pageContest object. Here the page context is an object is used to represent the entire JSP page, and this object is intended as a means to access information about the page while avoiding most of the implementation details. That means there is no need to mention whole structures of a JSP page. By using that page context object, we can just focus on some means relevant information which are present in our system. Then we are writing here, this object stores some references to the request and response objects for each request. Then the application object, config object, session object and out objects are derived by accessing attributes of this object. Here the page context object also contains some information about the directives issued to the JSP page, then including the buffering information, the error page URL information, then our page scope information which are present in our system. Then if a user is always write some specific code which is related to our page context class, which defines several fields including page scope, request scope, session scope and application scope, which identify the 4 scopes, and these scopes are supports more than 40 methods, about half of which are inherited from the javax.sublet.jsp context class. One of the important methods is removed attribute, and this method specially accepts either 1 or 2 arguments. For example, page context.remove attribute means we want to remove some attribute which is added in our web content, means our JSP page. Whenever user creating that JSP page, which need to remove that attribute by using this remove attribute method, which removes the attribute from all scopes, while the following code only removes it from the page scope structure. Here the page context.remove attribute, then in that remove attribute method we are mentioning 2 type of parameter, means attribute name, then page scope. By using that 2 attribute, we can easily mentioning here and easily locating in our system. Next, we are mentioning here some example that is written as example of page context type. Here we are mentioning some page directive and %@ page language Java, then content type HTML or text, then mentioning some character set. Similarly, user can also creating that HTML tag, then our heading section. In that heading section, user is defining some heading content like title. In that title we are mentioning implicit Guru JSP 9. Instead of this name we can write anything else. It is a simple name structure. And here also we are adding some meta information, means data about data, and that data about data can be written in that tag that is known as a meta tag. In that meta tag we are using that attribute known as HTTP equiv, means equivalent, which is related to our content type. And we have another attribute known as the content. In that content we are mentioning text or HTML type file, then mentioning some character set. In that character set we are adding some value ISO 8859-1. In that file we are going to display some content which are present in our system. Then we are adding some body section. In that body section we have some scriptlet tag. In that scriptlet tag we are mentioning here page context dot set attribute method. In that method we have 3 type of parameter like student, Guru student, then page context dot page scope. In this way we can retrieve some informations which are related to our set attribute. Just a user want to setting these 3 attributes like student, Guru student, then page context dot page scope. By using that 3 argument we can setting the page context of this JSP page. Then we are creating string name. In that name we are mentioning a string with some parameter, return type string type, then page context dot get attribute with some value written as student. Then we are mentioning out.println method. Through that out.println method we are going to printing this student name is name, and that name method can be stored the name of that attribute which is set as student, which is stored in that name, and that name is automatically printed in our web page. In this way we can easily printing in our web browser, and which is relevant to our JSP. And next but last, and in this concept, that means the exception object concept, we are using this object is so essential in our programming part, Here the exception object is the wrapper containing the exception thrown from the previous page. In that page means we know that whenever user want to create any type of programming page or programming code, in that code we are mentioning some relevant information. In that relevant information contains some information about some error or some runtime error. We have some runtime errors which is so hampered to our system. We avoid this type of runtime error through adding this exception object. That exception object is a wrapper. We know that by using that exception object we can use some throwable class. By using that throwable class we can easily throw some relevant information or some not irrelevant information from our programming part. Suppose user are going to dividing some number by 0. In that case we are creating some infinity case. In that infinity case cannot be displayed in our monitor. In that time this error exception object helps to detect that type of error, and that type of error can be automatically throwable to exception object, and that exception object can catch and to control the chances of system crash. And by using that exception object we can also control some most defective part of our programming structure. Now we can focus on the slide. Here also we are adding this exception object can be only used in our error pages, and that exception object is most effective way to implement in our error page. By using that error page can avoid some cause of an runtime error through this exception object. Now we are going to discuss about what is the use of that exception object. In that exception object we have some information about our relevant that page. Here also we are adding that page directive %@ and adding the language. In that language mentioning a Java, then content type text or HTML, then we are adding that character set ISO 88591, then page encoding attribute we are adding ISO 88591, then is error page we can mentioning here true, that means it is known as error page. If yes, then we are adding here HTML and heading section. In that heading section we are adding some title. In the title mentioning implicit or Guru JSP 11. In that case we are closing that head section, then mentioning here body. In that body section we are writing here scriptlet tag. In that scriptlet tag we are mentioning integer type array norm1 equal to is mentioning 1 2 3 4. We have some parameter integer type parameter which is stored in this num1, and then we are printing that value of that num1, that is known as a 5 element 0 to 5 means 0 to 4. Then we are printing this type of values. If any type of error, that means the array index out of bound exception here. In that case, because we have only 4 element but we are going to printing 5 element, which is impossible. That means one element is missing in that num1 array type variable. In that time it is known as runtime error. This runtime error is known as index, means array index out of bound exception type, and that exception type must be cached through this exception object which is pretending in our expression tag. This is the percentile equal to is known as expression tag. In that expression tag we are adding here exception. This exception object easily retrieve the cause of an error or cause of an exception which is present in our program, which is stored in that exception object. By using that exception object we are printing in our web page, and that section must be end with our body tag. Then we can close that HTML tag. In this way we are designing that exception object, and that exception object is essentially need for our program. Whenever user want to create that JSP relevant information, means through that implicit object we are carefully use it in our program, and by using that implicit object we can easily solve our some relevant information of our JSP page by adding this implicit object. Is so flexible and reliable way, that's why we are adding this implicit object. Okay, fine, thank you.